Oh, forget the whole starting. It's time to return. Let's finish up our roll quests. From a beard. Made some tomato soup. Some hot dogs. Well, sausages. This is hot dogs when I want them, but that's okay. It's delicious. I might be treating myself to some of that. But first, let's get into the final set of roll quests on my main, my monk. He gets some new outfits. There he is, Eskos, who has come to rejoin his bosom companion in the great hunt. It is well that you have, as I obtain new information concerning the sighting of Andrea and Kalusha. The fiend has transformed yet another deadly mark, great bear in this instance, into an even deadlier eater. And so it falls to Reek and Eskos to slay the newborn eater and continue their pursuit of Norvrand's most notorious virtue. To Kalusha, to glory. So where in Kalusha do I need to go? Right. Right. Let us book no further delay and commence our search. Separately, as before in Namarang, if you can catch the eater first, I grant you leave to kill it without me. I trust you will not be disappointed in the reverse of what to occur. Surely not. I myself will be most put out if I happen to lose to you a second time, and so on that note, may the best hunter win. Survey your surroundings, find no trace of the bear you see. By looking far and wide, you fail to find a trace for the bear you seek. Perhaps Norik has indeed the better hunter list. Ah, oh my throat. Oops, wrong mount. Hey dude, what's going on? Hate to say it, as Ghost, but it seems we're late to the party. Then Bird and his mates slew the bear before we could. Oh, it's true then, you cast your lot with the boy. Oh, poor deaf sod. But I don't understand, the Eater was a newborn. How could you possibly have learned of it and gotten here before we did? Well, see, that's the problem relying on hired help. They're loyal to the coin, to your coin, not you. To your coin, not you. And you're not the only one willing to open his purse. More important, Reek, what's this I hear about you hunting Andrea? With help, I mean, rather than all by your lonesome. A distinct memory of you storming off at a huff saying you didn't need me or anyone else to finish the job. Tell me I'm wrong. Do as you like, help or no, there's no choice but beating me to the prize. You've no chance of beating me to the prize, because unlike you, I'm not all talk, and neither are me mates. Speaking of mates, how much did it cost you to buy his friendship hotel? Ah, ha 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 ha. Piss off, Lindbergh. Why are you still here? Got your mark, didn't you? You should choose your friends more carefully, sinner. When it all goes wrong, don't say I didn't warn you. You have questions, I'm sure. As you surmise, Lindbergh was once a comrade of mine. I took him into my service, and we might hone our skills battling incinerators in preparation for facing Andrea. However, I soon came to see that he was not all that capable of a hunter, and so I dissolved our working relationship. Unfortunately, he did not take it in stride, and instead resolved to recruit new companions that he might beat me to my own game. It would seem that his fortunes are improving greatly of late, so much so that I fear we will no longer afford to dedicate time to tracking lesser eaters, must devote our undivided attention to the pursuit of Andrea. As such, we've been getting back to the Crustanian. Before we depart, I have one other matter to attend to in Yulmore. If you might trouble to accompany me? Ah, of course you will. Well, let us be off. Let's go. Allow me to introduce to you my father and mother. Father, this is my traveling companion and my dear friend Esicos. He and I have resolved to hunt a particularly deadly eater. Indeed, I cannot overstate how terribly dangerous the eater is, and the pursuit of it is court death itself. However, when we at last triumph over the fiend, all of Norvent shall sing our praises. Won't that be wonderful, Father? As long as you don't sully our good name, you're free to hunt whatever quarry you desire. I can do without all the petty details. Now then, how much do you require this time? Out with it? Oh, never mind. Just give the boy my coin purse, would you? I'm sure it will suffice for his trivial pursuits. That's why you're here, is it not? Another handout? Don't play coy. You've never been any good at it. You know, I honestly don't know why I came here. Keep your coin, Father. We're leaving Escos right now. What do we learn? Lorik's parents are, well, douches. They just hang around the bee's knees and watch half-naked people pole dance all day. At the Crystarium. Forgive me, Esgos, but I would prefer the wine on this occasion. Father's lackluster reception has put me into rather dire spirits. As you may have gathered from our exchange, I am a free citizen of Yulmore. Owing to my parents' considerable wealth, I enjoyed a relatively privileged upbringing. Privileged and unbearably boring. This is why I quit the city and resolved to become a bounty hunter. I'm no fool, though. I'm well aware of my fortunate circumstances, which is why I elected to conceal them from the people of the Crystarium, who want to jump to unshareable conclusions. Feels though you and I have established a rapport, though, and so I thought it best to bring you into my confidence, for you refrain from telling others. Now then, since Lindbergh has decided to turn this into a race, we have no choice but to oblige him and slay Andrea before he does. This calls for a veritable army of hired hands. Alas, in a fit of frustration, I refused Father's coin. Without additional resources, we had no choice but to conduct the search by ourselves. Moreover, I am rather embarrassed to admit that I can pay you only a token sum at this time, but I trust that it will not deter you from joining me anon. I was never in this for the guild. Really? I mean, of course you went. Perish the thought. As goes, my friend, thank the gods you're here. Ever since we parted away, I've been exhausting myself running all over the Crystarium, questioning anyone and everyone, hoping somebody might have seen Andrea. But alas... Wait. Only the Crystarium? Well, of course, surely there's a limit to what a man with meager financial resources can accomplish. But never mind all that. For it but recently dawned on me that the vision you beheld of Render Ray's past could hold the clues in which we have been desperately searching. When you first described it to me, it felt as though I'd heard it before, and I still had. The witness had told me the exact same story when I was still a boy. It was a tale of a courageous hunter who, together with her comrades, embarked on a quest to slay a notorious mark, great horned beast. They came upon their quarry in a desert, and there attempted to lay it low. Alas, the beast had a singular strength, and the hunter a fatal weakness. And so is the ensuing struggle. Her comrades were killed, leaving her the sole survivor to swear vengeance. Would you not agree that your vision is a perfect match for this tale? There can be no doubt. Render Ray is a celebrated hunter, a hero I so adored in my childhood. After that tragic day, the hunter resolved not to rely upon others and instead slew the beast by herself. She somehow found a way to compensate for her weakness. Anyway, my recollection of the tale is likely riddled with errors. We should ask Miss Elvira to recount it in full. She is a bounty hunter herself before she entered into our service. Also, in light of this, I would share with you an interesting theory concerning all the virtues I heard from a fellow hunter. Apparently, each appears to be driven by particular memories, moments that forever changed each of their fallen heroes. Makes sense, doesn't it? Render Ray being a hunter of notorious marks in life and death. I don't know why it ever occurred to me before. But if that is indeed the reason as to why she behaves as she does, then the more we learn about Render Ray's adventures, the better our chances of predicting where she'll turn up. All the more reason to go and see my former witness. Miss Elvira lives in Gatetown, Andalusia. Let us be off, then. Go right back to where it just was. Esgos, this is Miss Varia, the wet nurse who raised me for practically the entirety of my childhood. She was bonded to my family and lived with us in the city at the time. But when I came of age, she was forced to leave. You've grown such a strapping young man, but I can't imagine you came to Gatetown just to pay me a visit, my little Reek. Not in front of him, if you please. But to answer your question, we did in fact come to see you. There are stories you told me as a child of a courageous hunter. Was that hunter perchance the warrior of light Render Ray? Of all the reasons you could have had. Aye, those stories were of Render Ray, the greatest bounty hunter of her day, the legend so many aspired to become. Less so after the flood, it was still fresh in everyone's minds when I was younger, and all the good they had done in life, none would deny the chaos that sowed in death, as sin eaters. And despite all of that, me and my mates still looked up to her. We knew all her feats and swore to preserve them in secret if need be, that she might inspire future generations as she had ours. So years and years later, when we want to hear tales of adventure and heroism, I wouldn't help but share with you the ones nearest and dearest to my heart. I only wish I hadn't had to change all the names. And it's true. The hero who I looked up to you as a child, whose tale of daring do drove me to take up the bow, as you had to pester you for training that I might have become a bounty hunter. Miss Silvera, Esagos and I are hunting Andrea, and we believe that one of the stories you shared with me may help guide our search, namely the one about the great horned beast that killed her friends. Friends, will you tell it to me? You could what? Is that... Oh, my little Reek. Very well. Even as a young hunter, Renderay's incredible hearing was unparalleled. He would track her quarry through a forest by the most minute sounds of their passing, from malms around, even, by some accounts. Even the most suitable and stealthy beast never eluded her for long. A misplaced foot, a snapped branch. Eventually, Renderay would know, and her aim was always good and true. As she grew older and honed her skills further, she set her eyes on bigger prizes, became a hunter of notorious marks, and together with her comrades, earned fame and fortune. As their reputation swelled, so too did their egos. Only the most dangerous game would suffice, and so they resolved to hunt the scourge of Norvrent, the devourer of souls, Balam Keats. But what Brenda did not realize is that her greatest strength would prove her undoing, for when she faced Baron Keats, the beast roared with such force that it brought her to her knees. Helpless, she would only watch as she claimed the lives of her beloved comrades and fled. After burying the hunters and vowing that she would one day avenge them, she took up the road once more. She met Arbert and his fellow warriors light, and for a time she accompanied the fledgling heroes on their adventures. To them she was a breath of fresh air, a vibrant young woman who savored every moment and to find joy in the simple pleasures. They knew not in her fallen friends, or how their deaths weighed heavy upon her still. The party wandered the realm, performing many great deeds and growing ever stronger, as did Renderay. While in Colusia, she even devised a means to defend against the powerful roar that had been her downfall that fateful day. And then, while engaged in adventure in Raktika, rumor reached Renderay's ears. Balam Keats, scourge of Norvrent, devourer of souls, had been spotted wandering the Tia swamps. 'Twas a golden opportunity, but to seize it would be to face the beast alone. Could not wait for Arbert and the others, nor could she ask that they forsake their sworn duty. And perhaps it was just as well, for the memory of her defeat still haunted her. A courageous hunter had allowed a single fear to take root in her heart, a fear of losing her companions as she had her own. So, it was that Renderay ventured forth in secret, resolving to slay her hated foe, Balam Keats, alone. And with all her strength and guile, the legendary hunter did it just. Vengeance claimed she rejoined Arbut and the others, and never spoke of the terrible battle twixt her and the dread beast. From that day forward, she was Renda Ray, the warrior of light, and the deeds of her and her comrades would be celebrated forevermore. It's strange to think the woman I admired when I was young would become the sin eater I swore to slay. What she became doesn't change who she was. Even if the tales were a little embellished over the years, they are rooted in truth. She was and will always be a hero to me, and to you, I hope. Thank you, Miss Olvera, for everything. I promise I will visit you again soon. So, Escos, remember that theory I told you before about the virtues being driven by powerful memories? If Andrea is reenacting the journey leading up to her confrontation with Bellum Keats, it's the one that took her from Omarang to Calusia, then her next destination should be Arctica Great, was it? Right, that's where she laid low the beast at last, in this Satia swamps, to be precise. And so that is where we shall go. Let us away. Now listen, Reek. There's an awful lot of people don't know about Renda Ray, or the world, for that matter. So wherever you go and whatever you see, remember not to take it at face value. Don't just accept what others tell you is good and true. Listen to your heart and decide for yourself. Be safe. Essigos, was it? It has been such a pleasure to meet a friend of Reek's. His parents never hesitated to provide him with all the wealth and opportunities they could have, but when it comes to love and support, well, all I can say is a miracle the boy turned out as well as he did. One can never have too many friends and too much support. That goes for you as well, I think. When I was little, Miss Olvera seemed so much bigger and stronger than me. Though, to be perfectly honest, the way she carries herself even now bespeaks a confidence I cannot help but envy. But never mind that. We have virtue to hunt. Let us commence our search at once, and keep your weapons at the ready, my friend. About time our luck took a turn for the better. There she is. What? No? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I wish you were all here with me, but I know it's better that you're not. You have a score to settle, you bloody bastard. This time, I'm ready for your tricks. Alright. Just like the others, we... Alright. Let's take a look at this. We got Heavy Shot, Acidic Bite, Radiant Arrow, Hunter's Prudence, and Dulling Arrow. Interrupts the use of a target's action. The secure. This is just an OGCD, I think. Yeah, because it's 25 seconds. This is a dot. A shot. Okay, cool. Heal, OGCD, GCD, a dot, and interrupt. All right, here we go. That's what we're trying to interrupt. I'm afraid that wouldn't have. I'm out of that. Hey. This is about getting those interrupts in. What's up, Bugger? Everybody alright? But I don't know what to say. Thank you, everyone, and I'm sorry for trying to go it alone. And why, pray tell, did you even try to do something so foolish if you've been here with the... If we'd been here from the first, and would it have been anything even approaching a challenge? Back in the day, I was a bounty hunter. I've told you that much, but I haven't told you about my old partners. Together we tracked and climbed countless notorious marks throughout Norvrent. We were the best in the business. Everyone knew our names and our reputation. They called us legends. And somewhere along the line, we started to believe it too. And then we set our sights on Balaam Keats. I survived. They didn't. I swore vengeance and had no idea how to go about pursuing it. When I met you lot and thought that maybe with your help I might have a fighting chance. So you see, I never intended to keep it all a secret. It just, you never asked, and since I'd rather not talk about it. Easier to live in the moment, you know. The next town, the next job. Weeks flew by, and after a time, I started having second thoughts. I'd lost those closest to me before. I didn't want to live through that pain again. Are we, or are you not, your comrades, through thick and thin? Those bonds of friendship between us must come before all else. Otherwise, they may as well not exist. You say the thought of losing us pained you. What of our feelings? What of our loss? What if we had not arrived when we did? You saved our lives more times than I can count. How dare you refuse to let us do the same? And without those keen ears of yours, I'll never know what bollocks Brandon and Albert are whispering about me behind my back. Ignorance is not bliss, let me tell you. This one's worth a fortune, eh? And fame besides. I wager we won't have to pay for our drinks when we get back into town. Oh gods, not another night to remember. Don't you worry your pretty head over our fearless leader's questionable constitution. Take pride in the victory, for the small folk will sleep easily once they hear that Balaam Keats eyes. Hell, Arbert's drunken snoring wakes them from their slumber. And on that note, I think it's time we quit this place. And Renderay, trust that the next time you decide to hunt deadly game, do us the courtesy of extending us an invitation. And there, I thought I was doing you a favor by keeping you out of my personal affairs. Selfish as it was. Oh, fine. But if you do go and die on me, I'll pay a necromancer to raise you from the dead so I can kill you out of spite. Agreed. Now then, mind cutting off whatever it is you need to take back as proof of the kill? I don't want to lose our reward for technicality. Oh, and what's this? It's a crystal of light. Such a fine crystal. Why not hold on to it as a memento for this occasion? Wake up, damn you. Hello? What's wrong with you, eh? The second time your so-called gift has cost us a chance of slaying Andrea. You know what? I've had enough. Huh? Enough, I say. Yes, I don't need your help. I was perfectly capable of hunting the Sin Eater on my own. Like with that. Upon our return to Gate Town, you will be given your final payment and we'll be free to go our separate ways. They had all the sausage. Ah, so good. Well, I'm gonna go to Gilmore. Oh, bugger off. All right. Honestly, I don't know why I ever placed my faith in you. You are such a disappointment. Oof. Consider this the formal dissolution of our partnership. That none ever speak the names Reek and Escos in the same breath. Yes, never again. And with that, I bid you good day. When he was little, Reek's parents punished him for a time by withholding his allowance. Without money to lavish on his friends, he soon found that many were only drawn to him for his wealth. Dare say he feared you would abandon him as they did, decided to push you away first. I'm not trying to make excuses for what he said. I only hope that you find it in your heart to forgive him. Take some time to think it over, then come and see me. Oh, and take this for your troubles. I'm sure a talented man like yourself is needed all over the realm, but I thank you for sparing a moment to hear me out. Since you two parted ways, Rick has come and visited me several times, though he is blessedly in good health. I worry for his spirits. I think you may have been the only friend he has had for some time. I considered journeying to the Crystarium myself to look in on him, but I find travel rather difficult these days. If you would go in my stead, I would put my heart at ease. I think he'd be at the Wandering Stairs. His customary seat is empty, and there's nothing to suggest he occupied it recently. Perhaps someone will have noted its passing. Hey, I'm looking for a missile, so let's talk to the missile. Looking for Master Reek, are you? I dare say you're the only one. Well, it is Mummy and Daddy cut him off, so there's no point in pretending to like the little shite anymore. Last I saw him, he was moping about like someone had shot his Amaro. I'm sure he'll turn up eventually. Felicia, right? You're Rig's partner. I was with Landbird, remember? Was, I ought to stress, because after we left we had headed straight to Raktika. We had a rumor Andrea was there, and Limbard wanted to strike while the iron was hot. By the time we realized we were overmatched, it was too late. Saw Landbird fall, and then the Eater set his sights on the others and fled. Call me a coward if you like, but my cowardness saved my life. Wicked white. I still remember looking back as I ran and seeing Limbard rise to his feet. I told everyone what had happened to warn them off the hunt. Listened, but a few bloody fools who took up the weapons and joined the hunt. Bloody hungry imbeciles. Not one of them has returned. Didn't expect Lorik to be one of them neither. I remember thinking it was, especially when I saw him leave for Raktika alone. You're meeting him there, I presume? Good luck for him, but no doubt that you're going to your doom. Lorik, the Mistral Lordling. If he ain't at his usual table, I have no idea where he left. Okay, so I found that Lorik is in Ratia. I don't want to go find out. I don't want to go to... Oops. I want to do that either. Escos? Why here? Don't tell me you came for me. It's terrible. It's horrible. Andrea, she's... Render Ray. All you remain, then hearken to my words. I have come to lay your soul to rest, alone, as you yourself faced Balam Keats a century ago on this very ground. Manbird? Oh gods, no. Don't tell me you beheld the vision of my past just now, didn't you? Yeah, I saw she was essentially recreating her party. I thought as much. Wasn't but a moment ago that I confronted them. Awfully useful, that trick of yours, though I can't understand why you kept using it every time you ran into Andrea. I can't control. Can't control when it happens. So it wasn't something you did deliberately? Good to know. Anyway, unintentional or not, at least I don't have to convince you of what I saw. You turned Lambert and those other hunters into sin eaters like herself. A hume axeman, a Goldrent swordsman, a dwarven healer, an elven mage. Looked awfully familiar, didn't it? She's rebuilding her fellowship. She's remaking the Warriors of Light. But for the life of me, I can't understand why. I mean, I understand why she came here in the first place, to relive in the hunt of Baron Keats. But Brenda Ray slew the beast by herself. The stories were clear about that. But she did it. She intended to, but then Arbert and the others came. What? They were there too, and the stories were wrong. God, strike me down. I've been such a fool. Why did I ever think I could do this alone? I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for all the things I said, Eskos. Oh, I've regretted my behavior ever since the day we parted. It was stupid and nonsensical and utterly pointless. I'm not sure I could even tell you why I did what I did. Yeah, whatever, it's water on the bridge. Thank you, my friend. Hope it is all that I can call. Hope it is that I can call you that. Right then. Andrea should be around here somewhere. Still on the hunt for Baron Keats. Expect. Not that she'll ever find it. No doubt Lambert and the others are with her too. She and I may have had our differences, but I'd not wish that fate on my worst enemy. He deserves to be laid to rest. They all do. Brenda Ray most of all. She is my hero. If I have to kill her to save her soul, then so be it. But this is too much for even the best hunter to handle alone, and I'm far from the best. The only way to see this through is together. You and me, my friend. What say you? Let's do it. Ha! I asked for a word and you gave me a nod. Fair enough. Before we resume the hunt in Innis, though, let us return to Gate Town and let Miss Olvera know all is well. And after all, you wouldn't have come unless she sent you. Oh. Esgos, what a pleasure to see you again, in the company of Little Reek, no less. Am I right in assuming you patched things up? I should like to think so, yes. And it is all thanks to you. Had you not implored him to give me another chance, I might well still be sitting alone in the swamps, dwelling on my myriad failings. And you, my friend, I know not why you sought her out on your own, but I am glad you did. Miss Olvera is perhaps the only person who truly cares for my well-being, but she has no one to look after her. Don't be silly, Reek. I have you, don't I? And before we stop blabbering about how you wish you could properly reward Escos, as I can tell you about to, know that I prepared a hearty meal just for him. Oh, that's very thoughtful of you. Nevertheless, I shall see you both duly compensated once we have claimed the bounty of Andrea. And claim it we shall, for united, Reek and Escos are unstoppable. Is what I would like to say, but I know my own limitations better than anyone. It would be prudent to make proper preparations at this juncture. You two should see to it that you are ready for the struggle ahead. It will be a mighty one indeed, but one well worth the effort, my friend. Let's do it! Final roll quest. Eskos, my friend, my partner. Trust you are ready. Good, good. Is very good indeed. For before we depart to face Andrea, for what I praise the final time, I have a confession to make. I may have been somewhat misleading when I intimidated the tremendous of my martial prowess. In truth, it rather pales in comparison to yours. Uh-huh. I gather you are not unaware of this. Surely you are as perceptive as you are mighty. In my defense, I must say that when I realized the exceedingly powerful warrior you truly are, I was dumbstruck. I struggled to conceive on how even to broach the subject. Furthermore, I must admit the great majority, nay, all of our effort is to hone our skills in preparation for the battle to come has been Nay, all of our efforts to hone our skills in preparation for the battle to come have been entirely for your benefit, and the disparity between us might not be so readily apparent. To think that my insecurity drove me to postpone this fateful day for so long. In my cowardice, I allowed Andrea to assemble a party of followers, but before we might have only had to contend with one foe, we must now confront 5. And for all my preparation, I am still no more likely to be an asset to you than a hindrance. And perhaps we need not be in this case. In discussing the grim reality with Miss Overa, while you were away, we hit upon a potential stratagem. Recall you Rendere's greatest strength and weakness, her preternatural hearing. We can be reasonably certain that Andrea is possessed with it as well. Therefore, if we are to fashion a device that can produce a loud noise at will, we can use it to secure an advantage in our battle. What I lack in strength of arms, I can make up for with guile. While it will not guarantee us victory, it will surely bring us one step closer. 1,000 pardons, Master Reek. I have come to deliver a message from your Lord Father. Daddy, what does he want with me now? It has come to my Lord's Father's attention that you have acquitted yourself rather poorly as a bounty hunter and have brought terrible shame upon your family name. He commands you to cease all such activities at once and return to the city forthwith. Should you fail to do so, you'll be stripped of your citizenship and family name. No further financial assistance will be provided. Oh dear. You may tell my father and mother the following: that I am Lorik, proud bounty hunter, slayer of Sinister, that I have no intention of renouncing this cause, and that they are free to do as they deem fit. Tell them that if they have no son, then I have no parents, that I have no family save Miss Vera, who has shown me more love than they ever have. Very good, Master Reek. I shall deliver your reply to them at once. This Ellison service doesn't really care what's happening. He just does his duty. Right. Now that that's settled, we can get to work crafting the giant noisemaker of ours. Let us consult with the craftsman of the crystalline mean at once. I dare say you lit a fire in him, Messigos. I never thought I'd see the day when he mustered the courage to say anything like that to his parents. Off to the Crystarium. Oh, crystalline mean. What's this, then? Got something that needs making. Indeed I do, sir. I wish to commission the production of a device that can generate a tremendously loud sound. It must be small and light enough to be carried by a single individual as well. Ain't that one of the stranger requests I've heard? Well, it's just noise that you want, then I wager you can make do with a special blend of fire sand. I think it's just the recipe that you needs. I'll need some choice ingredients, mind. You don't need to go and fetch them for me. Fetch? What precisely is that you require? Well, there's this one particular beastie native in Kalusia that's got a singular diet and leaves these massive dung piles. The fresher the better, if it please. A few varieties of grasses native to Taraktika, and some iron ore from Amamarang. I can give you a list if you like. Wit, I will need to travel the far corners of Northern and back. Oh dear, this is rather more involved than I... No more excuses. I'll do whatever needs to be done to see this through to the end. My friend, I will not impose these tasks upon you. I insist that you remain here while I go fetch the required materials. I could have helped. It was a series of surprisingly harrowing experiences. But in the end, I managed to obtain the materials necessary for the construction of my secret weapon. That gentleman was rather accommodating, despite being somewhat put out that I had not any guild to pay him for his labor. He was nonetheless willing to teach me how to craft the items myself. He said he found my industriousness endearing. I must confess, despite being utterly exhausted by all this work, it was somewhat refreshing. And now my noisemaker arrows are ready. I cannot wait to put them to the proof. If all goes to plan, the explosions will be loud enough to incapacitate Adria from the time. Let us put an end to our tale, my friend, and in so do so write the opening of ours. That is Rinkanesco's bounty hunters extraordinaire. Come, Raktika and glory await. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, took a shower and everything. Suppose potato soup, which is really creamy, gives me that like itis sort of situation. And I hate calling referred to like a food coma, the itis, and I just used it. This is what I get for living in Texas for, oh gods, 15 years. All right, here we go. If I'm make one small request before we begin, please, for the love of God, please try not to succumb to any visions of people's past. It really could not be a waste time. I love it. Oh, hey, look who decided to join us. Well, are you still with me in the here and now? Yeah, I think we got what information we needed before, so we're probably good. Excellent. Then we can attend to the task at hand without worry. Let us lay to rest our fellow hunters, and grant Renere the peace a hero deserves. Yay! We, we won! Even seeing it and saying it hardly feels real. Huh. What's that you've got there? Wicked white. Door? You're Render Ray. Real Render Ray. I should have never betrayed your trust. Never again, I swore. Never again. Bone Keats, the Shadowkeeper, the Flood, come what may, we would face it together, no matter how hard it got, and how terrified I was. That's what it means to let someone into your heart, knowing full well that nothing lasts forever. To welcome the fear, the pain, the sorrow. When I lost my parents, when we laid the Keeper low, you felt it too, didn't you? And to place our faith in a desperate, hopeless attempt to save everyone, and to see it amount to naught in the end. What else could we do but offer up that tiny reminder of a final futile effort, even knowing deep down it was worth but a few moments more? What is this? You gave me fear, and that fear gave me strength. Wait, there's so much I want to ask. I don't understand. What was she talking about? Robert and his friends. It's not right. It's not fair. Heroes sacrificing themselves for nothing. I mean, villains being forgotten. Thank you, Esagos. Could have never gotten this far without your help. I have no idea who Rendaway or any of the other warriors of light truly were. It was all ancient history to me. Why would I care who some sin eaters once were? I was no better than my parents, judging them out of hand, dismissing their sacrifice, not bothering to look deeper. It made it all the easier to pursue Andrea for our own amusement. I pray I've made up for it in part by helping to lay Renderay's soul to rest. Miss Olvera is probably worried sick about us both. We should return to Clusia. Let her know we're all right. My little Reek Escos. Reek Escos, congratulations on a job well done. And from one hunter to another, thank you for helping Render Ray to achieve the measure of peace. She was a hero to me, and it broke my heart to know what had become of her. To have your legacy tarnished so, to have the world call you villain even still. But at least I can take comfort in knowing she is finally enjoying a long rest. Whatever others may say, we will preserve the truth in story and song. Render Ray, the bravest hunter there ever was, and more importantly, a true friend to those she held dear. I can only hope to measure up to her example sometime. But now, however, I say we return to the crystarium and raise a glass in celebration. Back to the crystarium, where it all began. Took a little longer than I thought it would take. But that is okay. Now, here's where I'm assuming he picked up the reward. It's a massive amount. So he created a banquet. Andrea's bounty has been paid to us in full, my friend. So come, let us eat, drink, and be merry. I have to say, when people are in front, we're not really like the dwarves. We don't drink that much. Not to say we don't drink, but let's drink. Actually, I kind of like how the dwarves of this world. I like the dwarves of actually drink because, that's kind of actually how my style works. I mean, meaning to ask, Eskos, you have an impression that you're rather more acquainted with the warriors light than you've been letting on. What exactly do you know of them? Exposition. That's, that's so that is so preposterous a tale that I have no choice but to assume it's true. Offering up their lives to first cross the rift, then to halt the flood. White. It must have taken her so much courage to see through to those final moments. A courage born not of a desire of glory or dedication to an ideal, but of fear and love for those of whom she had forged unshakable bonds, comrades. I won't pretend that we have anything even approaching such a powerful connection, but I would like to think that we are in mortal. That if you were in mortal peril, that I would fly to your side without hesitation. Having said that, if I were tested as Renda Ray were, if I were challenged to offer up my life to others without even knowing if it would amount to aught, I doubt I could rise to the occasion. I'm a child and a fool who knows little of the world, and coddled and spoiled, and have only just tasted the bitter fruits of life that you and countless others sup on daily. I am made for You are made of sterner stuff, Eskos, far sterner than me. That is why I know I can never walk your path. No shame in that. Oh, but there is. I cannot recall a time that I felt happier, more alive than when I have traveled with you. And you have countless other journeys ahead of you, don't you? But you are destined for greater challenges, where I am suited to be more pedestrian affairs. Know your limits, as Miss Elvira used to say. Meeting her again after all these years, seeing how much older and more frail she has become, made me realize how little time together we have left. She shouldn't have to live out her days living alone and in squalor. I've decided it will not be so. I shall return to Galusha and attend to her needs, for I would do my utmost to repay the love and kindness that made me the man I am today. Therefore, though it pains me to say it, I fear our celebration must also mark the end, or at least the very least a tentative suspension of the glorious partnership of Reek and Eskos, bounty hunters extraordinaire. If you ever find yourself in Galusha, however, do come and pay us a visit. I will tell you this: just getting one of those 4 that are done, the magical DPS, physical DPS, tank, and healer, just one of those would have been all that's required to finish the storyline, the MSQ. But me being somewhat of a completionist, I wanted to complete all of them. In addition, how many other groups have we got in the Tempest? 3. I think. Oop. It's all going into my inventory. 2 things went to my chest. Oh, I want to open in there. Popping back to the Costerium. We can do some bag clean. There we go. Brand new outfit. All right. Now we can continue with you. The chieftain has bid me guide you our steps to the illuminated land. Come, the way lies downwards. Follow the path of coral and rock and join your comrades below. Hey. Going. All I gathered yes, and I shall describe the path you must take. Enter the cavern below and follow the wall down, and down, and down. Out at the bottom, find the passage to the northwest, and continue west and west and west. Way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance and do not stray into the depth. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap and the barrier we placed on its mouth. This obstacle will fade once you raise a hand towards it. You made it so. A most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. Right. Deeper in the depths you go. It's a gird. You sign waypoint markers. Our God bade us travel to the cabin floor and thence to the west. Yet 'twould seem that some twisting tunnels defy such simple instruction, and rather they rely on direction alone. I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. Oh shit. As it goes, we have a choice of two routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks, or skip along this coral branch as Alize has done. I, for one, will be following my sister's example. Mhm. Follow the sister's example as well, because there's an eighth current right there. We're now at 5 of 10 findable ones. There you are. Come now. Come on, I think I found the tunnel we're looking for. Convenience of aether currents beyond the route that we need to take for the MSQ. I don't love those. Yeah, this must be the barrier the Ondo spoke of. Well, that was more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. It was a treacherous path indeed, yet I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. As goes, I'd like you to do the honors. Gone, just like that. I suppose we should head in. Not that, like as not, this tunnel will be just as perilous as the road we walked to get here. Let's all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we? Alphino's standing over there, a misguide.
By the gods.
I'll be damned. It's a city.
When the Ondo spoke of a city, I did not think they meant an actual city.
Then we are seeing the same view. The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid, material structures. But these... everything here pulses with ether. It is an enchantment on a monumental scale.
Essigos, did you note the style of the architecture? Tis a self-used remnants of the cups and the mural painting towers. Looking closely, Emmett Selk has not simply reclaimed these ruins, he has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Whilst the magnitude of this artifice is staggering, though it pains me to admit, we do not understand the feats of which an old Asian is capable. It's intimidating, yes, but we have to start somewhere. Why don't we have a closer look at that tower to the southeast? We might be able to reach it from the edge of the trench. Where have I gotten so far? Oh geez, I've only got like 3 more, and then it's just about doing quests. Imposing door. Look at the size of those doors. Now I know how pixies must feel. Essigos Winsmall recognized. Welcome to the city of Amarat. Will you be riding the lift? What? Did the building just welcome you? Mayhap it is not so passing strange. Did Emmett Selk not invite Essigos to visit his abode? His plain thy coming was expected. And where will this lift be taking us? The lift services to lift services every level of Accorder Heights and is presently configured to convey passengers directly to the ground floor. Well, there you have it. In the absence of some few hundred yards of rope, there's little choice but to accept the offer. with emphasis on the we. I'm not about to let you walk into that place alone. Ground floor, now. As you wish, the lift will arrive shortly. Next stop, ground floor. Facilities include the Bureau of Administrator, the Bureau of the Architect, and the Capitol. It's only at this distance that you start to realize just how big the buildings truly are. Did the voice call the city Amarat? Look, over there. Is that a person? Ah, no, my mistake. Giant. Doesn't seem to have noticed us yet. Giant to know, resident of this place may have much more to tell us. I say we make the first move. Alfredo, you can't just Excuse my boldness, but might I ask you a few questions? Oh, what adorable costumes. Are you children on an excursion? This district has much to teach you. Odd. That sounded like no language I ever heard, and yet I understood every word. Just as he understood us. Well, which district is this exactly? Oh, you must be lost, poor things. You stand in the polyliterate district, wherein lie the institutions most vital to the management of our star. Hey, can you tell us where to find MX Selk? I need to talk to him. I see. You've come to marvel at the workings of the Convocation of 14. I'll hardly surprise you, I suppose. The whole world holds its breath as the final days draw near, and our brightest minds race to implement their plans. Thus, we must understand that gaining an audience at this time will be next to impossible. You must hurry home now before your families begin to worry. Do you need me to walk you back? No, thank you. We'll be fine. Very well. Take care, little ones. What was that all about? In my eyes, these people appear as arcane entities. I suspect that itself wove them from ether, much as he reconstructed the rest of the city. Final days. Such words well befit the oblivion described to us by our Asian foe. A catastrophe of unprecedented scale which did set forth in motion the summoning of Zodiac and thence Heidelin herself. But what happened centuries ago But that happened centuries and centuries ago, didn't it? That man spoke as if they were rushing to avert the disaster here and now. Unless, for these people, the distant past is the here and now. I believe thou hast the right of it, Master Alfredo. This ethereal amarant and its residents appear to be phantoms of a different age. Emmett Selk hath resurrected a memory, a moment in time from before the star was sundered. So we find ourselves in a long-destroyed city, inhabited by a long-departed unusual systemation, to be sure, but at least we'll be able to parley with these ancients. In fact, they seem downright eager to chat. I say we use this to our advantage. Strike up some conversations, and see if we can't learn the location of our quarry. And while we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to wheedle out a few more details regarding this convocation of 14 and their impending disaster. To mingling, then. Let's meet back here when our jaws start aching. Or when you've met the satisfactory requirements of the quests. I'm going to prioritize MSQ, but I might grab the Aether current quests along the way. And of course we get lag. Here. Full of rhetoric. Twould seem the hall is host to a most precarious visitor this day, and what, pray tell, shall be the subject of our discussion, young one? The convocation and the handling of the coming peril. It is only natural that you should have questions. Shall we begin with the members themselves? As you all know, the 14 are the wisest, most puissant among us. They are the stewards of order, reasonable for decisions which keep this star turning season after season. Be it the speaker La Brea or the emissary Elidibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Logrif, Mitron, and Itselk, their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect in the matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus, it is with great ingenuity that I greet this recent rumor that a seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, 'twould be an unprecedented development and a testament to the immense pressure under which our saviors are toiling. In any event, I, for one, am confident that they shall deliver our star unto salvation. Good gracious, child, where's your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home quickly now. Have you not heard, though yet confined to the lands across the sea, a terrible phenomenon afflicts our stars? They're calling it the final days. 'Tis said it suddenly starts suddenly a cacophonous keening in from beneath the earth, and the sound distorts all living things within earshot, and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, every dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance. An eternal fall of fiery rain, an incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. 'Tis as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical of the life now festers and spreads. 'Tis only a matter of time until Amarant too resounds in this discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. He's a little paranoid. He's a doomsayer. An audience with Emmett Selk? I'm afraid you have the wrong office, little one. Besides, he is far too busy to field the questions of curious children. Now that you had been told of the looming catastrophe, every resource available to the convocation must be spent upon ensuring that our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it said the 14 are moving forward with a plan of scarce credible proportions, one of which promises to grant will to the very star itself. We will invoke our mightiest spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. It is a huge undertaking. It must be completed ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus, I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. I know I'm probably going to go back here, but I'm here. I'm close. Here's an aetheryte. What's a tune? This music is just really light and soothing. Ooh. God. Oh, jeez. I swear this is like one set of notes which just reminds me of Iris by Google Dolls. As it goes, if you're not certain before, but I am now, the people of the city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emmett Salk to recreate this ancient Amarot. And yet I fancy I hear his words to us echoing through the ocean Trent. He would have this story known. We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully our next move will become clear. Twould seem our conversations were much alike. A looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and our convocation efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Well, Oyanje, if I may, what are your thoughts on the ancient's art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. Art the mind can conceive may be rendered into reality. All that is required is a clear concept on which to focus one's will. It is not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony breatheth life into figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in this age before the Sundering were blessed with vast resources of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seems they paid the cost with not more than a fraction of the ether which coursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies and seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals, mayhap, or mayhap the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter in which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Emic Silk. Has anyone learned aught of which might lead us to his location? Not directly, mayhap, but from what I've heard, there seems to be the conversation of 14 is sequestered in the nearby capital building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant wouldn't let us through without a written permission. So we tried our luck at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued, but the clerk there said he couldn't help us, since our names didn't appear on the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wonder, though, Eskos, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The voice and the lips seem to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered in the Bureau as well. What's a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I'll head back to the capital and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray allow me to accompany thee for thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. Yeah, sure. I know I'd like to speak more of these ancients. Maybe they know something that can help cure Ethicos' condition. Would you mind coming with me? Of course. I don't mind. Just lead the way. Then Ystrel and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had, and so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in the front of the capital. I'm just grabbing this quest for later. So it might end up doing them all. Somewhere I have to have some interaction, or we just basically watching this. Oh, I know this one. To ignore the plight of those who are most conceitedly saved is not wisdom, it's indolence. Okay. Excuse me. I have skipped this. I could. There you go. How we have this conversation, I have no idea. I changed my mind. I'm gonna reorg it. Just gotta get him out of the way. Nope. There we go. So I've got 3 of 5. Visitor's writ. Yes, I can assist. Full name, please. Itzko Swinsmall. Please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. Itzko Swinsmall, your application is ready for collection. As your residency is approved by Emmett himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of Secretariat, and the clerk will issue you with the visitor's writ for the capital. Next, please. Visiting the capital lobby, please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. I'm turning up the volume because it's a cutscene. May I? You, I think, are from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Emmett Selk? Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I'm simply a shade. You're not here. Well, I know only that my name is Harlodeus, that the city is a recreation. Phantom moment plucked from the well of history. These others seem unaware of their pale existence. I don't wonder if Emmett Selk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hythlodeus will realize the truth, for example. We were close friends once, you see. Yet, in spite of my perception, I played the same role as all the rest. A bit part meant to bring color and noise to the well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny and we shall burst with the fragile bubbles we are. Thus, I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which waits us on our morrow. The final days, which began as isolated incidents, soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required immense source of power. Of those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. And from their sacrifice, Zodiac was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet, oh, how the star had suffered. So many species lost, the land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give of ourselves to Zodiac. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that the trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives would sprout and grow and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we can reconsider the means by which we must protect it. Convocation decided thus. We would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. And then when the time was right, we would offer some portion of our living energy to Zodiac. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose soul had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. These were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiac, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. Those dissenters surrendered their life energies to the creation of Hylian, an incarnation of their opposing belief. For the first time in history, our people stood divided. Knew then how this conflict ended. Thought you might. Him itself has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiac. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will have not abandoned his cause. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, him itself is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine that they may have only grown heavier with every passing century. It is truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. It's a ghost wins ball. Means your turn has come. Why do not let me keep you? You're a nice guy. Ah, there's one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Nay, I see no definite form, but the fate has suggested a second soul. I doubt it's visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. All of your souls tells the tale. A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. This is just the kind of fate I might expect from one such as he. Surely M itself has recognized the hint of him in you. As it goes with small? Fare you well, my little new old friend. May you find what you seek. I find that scene is very interesting. The visitor's whip as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. First, we have to go to the Bureau of Administration, then to the Bureau of Secretariat. Hmm. Oh, man. Well. This experience point per level is not based off of the location, but a percentage of your current level. Finally, you were gone for so long I was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you with your bureaucratic ventures? Got a visitor's right. Maybe. Nope. Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing, too. Oriange and I weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and official entrance is by far the most effective option. The capital boasts not a single armed sentry. 'Twould seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded, though mightily did we strive in strength, mundane and magical, and we failed to budge them even a fraction of one im. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emetzelk's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We did try everything, of course. Didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Reen and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is these ancients didn't exist beyond Amaranth's today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, Esagos? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? Exposition. Great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection, and you say that all the Asians' scheming has been leading to this. All this time. But if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with the rejoining. I thought we knew their intentions in full. Restore the world to its former glory, and in turn empower Zodiac to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet they're merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it into words, but we have to assume following the final rejoining, the Asians mean to draw on the lives of the source to make their sacrifice to Zodiac. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Asians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving when all our history, all of our struggles would be erased? And not conscience such an act? Of course not. And that's just to say not for what Emetzelk's plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find him, Escos, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that felt by those who come before and those who come after, by everyone you've ever met. Change things so that even our other selves, dying somewhere in that future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would have been. Is fighting Emetzelk the only way? He created an entire city. It would take everything we had to defeat him. We even can. And if we push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. You remember that talk we had atop the Tower of Mordsuk? I'm still of the same mind now that I was then. I don't abandon you. You don't abandon me, and together we make a difference in this fight. There's always hope if we look for it. I saw it again and again as we tore through veils of light from the sky. If we keep taking that next step forward, there's a chance we'll find a way to save you. So no matter how long it takes or how much it hurts, we can count on me to keep on walking. Valtteri spoke of the disaster we would bring upon our own heads, the ceaseless conflict. Imagine how he would sneer to see what became of the first, not to mention our perilous predicament. And yet, who are we to deny the fire your deeds has ignited in people's hearts? You achieve what my logic and ideals never could, uniting desperate peoples among the banner of hope and common purpose. Without that, the giant Talos would never have raised its head. I have borne witness to many such miracles at our road, and would do so again. This is but another obstacle in the road. So come, let us travel it. Drag me through wonder and danger as we are wont to do. You are wont to do, and I shall endeavor not to slow you down. As well thou knowest, if we are to usher Emet-Selch into its rest, we must needs bind its Athian soul, and then shatter it with an overwhelming force. The former task requireth foresight, and such have I prepared upon the Exarch's asking, no less, though 'twas ever mine intent to provide said boon. The future whence our noble friend doth hail is a world fallen to Asian artifice, and he would not see such grim history repeated. In a sense, Emet-Selch's destruction will be the culmination of Exarch's efforts, a reward of all he hath endured these many years. Yet even as thou strideth against the jaws of peril, forget not that his fondest wish, that of many others besides, is to see thee survive unto the morrow. 'Tis no pursuit in this happiness of outcomes that I do pledge to remain at thy side. A time in the first is a never-ending succession of trials, and arduous our path in the source ever was. Yet, though all our journeys together through the deep and foreboding wood, you have helped me to stay true to my convictions. Thus would I return the favor. Do as your heart decrees without hesitation or regret. And that is all I would say on the matter. Well, this will put everyone in a solid mood, hasn't it? Honestly, we're not even sure this will be the end of it. And I suppose we would speak our minds when we have the opportunity. You taught me that much in our meringue. So, forgive me this moment of sentiment, Escos. By dragging me into this sorry mess, you've given the chance to think and act as I should have, for Breen's sake. Words cannot express how much this has changed my life, or how grateful I am for your support. So I shall express my gratitude through action instead. No matter where you decide to go, I will be there, guarding your back. When Minfilia entrusted me with her power, she warned me that no matter how strong you become, you can still fall victim to despair. You can still feel powerless. And she was right. After you collapsed in Maltgulg, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. If I made a mistake, if I failed to bind the light within you, I was terrified you would die. Even now, you could be moments from turning, and I wouldn't know how to save you. You, Thancred, the others, we've all been there when I needed help. Minfilia surrendered her life to me, her legacy. I should be ready to do the same for you, and I want to. I do. But I'm not good enough. You told me to follow your example, and I tried. I really tried. I'm not asking to be saved. But the light, how could you go on? Fate can be cruel, but a smile better suits a hero. Or we must all keep looking forward like the heroes who never gave up hope on this world. Oh, geez, this is one of those moments which still like pull at my heartstrings. Fate can be cruel, but a smile better suits a hero. Or chiffon. I'm not sure Actually, never mind. I think I'll understand better if I try it for myself. No, nothing will come of brooding here in self-pity. I've made my decision, Eskos. I'm going with you. All right. I might just stop here. We're at the 2-hour 42-minute of this segment. And we're about to go into a nice long chunk of things. And I want to be able to take the time to do it. So I'm actually going to end right here. We will pick up the next time I start. I need to review my schedule because we're having our Jackbox Party Pack happy hour party tomorrow over on the Cubs Out Loud YouTube for my birthday, which is technically Sunday, but we're doing it on Saturday just because. But if anything, within the next couple of days, I will do more streaming. Just stay followed. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. Sunday will probably be the 12 to 5, 12-ish to 5-ish. Maybe something like today, but we'll see. Anywho, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is the final quest of the leveling the initial patch of Shadowbringers. So, I mean, the quest is called Shadowbringers. What do you expect? All right. We'll see you all next time or in the next video. If you're watching on YouTube. Bye.